Hey there, we're gonna be working at the wall today, using our chair. Get it out, let's get to it. I want you to take your chair, press it up against the wall so it fits nice and tight. Facing the chair, step your inside leg up onto the chair. Now I have the back of the chair away from the wall because the wall is already there for you. If you need an additional support, now we've just doubled up. Okay. Once you have your inside leg on the chair, just bring it towards the edge. It's not going to touch the wall, and that's okay. But your knee is going to sit above your ankle, and your back heel is going to sit below your hip. Let's just level out the hips a little bit. Square the hips and stand nice and tall. Now, nice deep breath in. Take your outside arm and bring it up overhead and just reach. And as you reach, just roll yourself open for a moment. And then bring it down. Let's just do that 2 more times. Inhale up and roll it open and down. See if you can bring the arm directly behind you. Let the hip roll with you and down. Okay, now we're going to go the other way. Take your inside arm and place it on the wall. I'm using my fingertips on the wall. And then use your free hand, your front hand, on the outside of the knee. Using your hand and pressing against the knee and vice versa, turn your torso. So I'm actually trying to use my hand as the wall. I mean, you could use the wall if you wanted, but it's going to create more activity in your upper body. And as you press and resist, now we're making the rotation happen in the torso, in the obliques. I can feel all of my psoas, my hip muscles being stretched as well. And relax your back shoulder, keeping the elbow slightly bent. So now I'm turning from the belly, turning from the ribs, turning from the shoulders, turning from the chest, neck, and eyes, and trying to stand just a little bit taller. Breathe here. And then slowly unwind and slide the arm down. From here, take your chair, and you're going to slide it forward. Now, if you can't slide it forward, that's okay. Flex your front foot and level your hips. The key here is to level and square. Keeping the front foot flexed, toes pointing up, use the wall or use the chair and hinge forward. Now I'm seeing my foot roll in. I apologize if my foot's a little dirty. And as I square the hip of the front leg back, I can feel the hamstring stretch even more. So the goal here is not to get to the leg, okay? No overachievers allowed. The goal is to feel a stretch. So extend forward as you draw the hip back. I can already feel a killer stretch here. Keep the base leg nice and strong. Hold it and breathe. And then back up nice and slow. The fun does not stop. Hands at the hips or hand just barely on the chair. Now engage that base glute. So I'm pulling it in under, drawing up on my core without leaning back. Pick the leg up off the chair. Hug the thighs, strong base glute. Let's breathe here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pull the knee in and hug it. You can also set the leg on the chair and just stand tall. Drop your shoulders, flex the base foot. And lower that leg down. Shake it out. Whew, that felt really good. All right, now we're gonna go to the opposite side. All right, opposite side. Inside leg comes to the edge of the chair. Now, usually there's a little bit of a hip bop action, so level. I'm messing with the light, sorry. And neutral the pelvis, you're nice and tall. Outside hand is going to press against the knee and vice versa. That's what's going to create stability down here. Hug the thighs, otherwise you're going to end up with some strain in that hip. You're nice and tall. Inside arm slides back and comes against the wall with your fingertips. Now I'm on the door, which is totally fine. Drop the shoulder And nice deep breath in, even taller. Let's rotate. So I'm feeling that turn after all that sitting all day. I can feel the hip stretch. That's what we want, a nice stretch up through the psoas and the abdomen. And then we get the obliques involved. Then we get all of the spinal muscles involved. Stay tall, chest is open. I can feel my back. And breathe, bring the head and neck into it without bringing that front shoulder forward. This is where awareness comes in. People always ask me, I coach speakers and coach for business stuff, and they're like, how are you so aware of all these details? Yoga. Nice and tall, breathe. And slowly unwind, let that arm drop down. I can feel that. All right, slide the chair forward. Flex the foot, square the hips. The name of the game here is not how far you can go, it's feeling the sensation. So with the hips square, take your hand up your inner thigh, and as you fold, you're actually pulling and rolling the thigh down and back, which is going to increase the stretch from the calf and the hamstring. Now look at your foot. When the foot curls, it's pulling towards the tightness, so try to flex and readjust. Belly draws in, lengthen even more, take your sternum off your pelvis. Breathe here. Back up. All right, base glute kicks in. It's almost like it's tucking under. Nice and tall, belly strong. Let's pick up the leg. We're just counting here. 10, 9, 8, flex the foot, 7, 6, stand tall, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now either can set the foot down and still stand tall or bring the leg in. Relax the shoulders, find a focal point, relax the jaw. Notice where you're shoving tension. Notice where you're trying to hide tension and tightness. And then bring that leg down. Move your hips. Feels so good. Some keeping here, which is okay. All right, last move. I'm gonna turn the chair. Just bring it up against the wall for a little bit of security here, and take a seat. Now as you take a seat on the chair, nice and tall, I'm more towards the edge than I am towards the back. Pick up one leg, flex the foot, and set the knee onto the ankle. Feel free if you need help with that. Use your hands or a belt loop. You can also set the leg down on a low stool and let the knee fall open. There's always a variation. Take your hands, rotate the thigh out to get rid of any pinching in the hip and the knee, and do a little self-guiding for your tissues. Nice and tall, inhale. Now exhale as you lean forward. Try not to round the shoulders. Think about being super long. You may even have to rock to release the hips a little bit. Nothing's perfect in the beginning, right? And now I'm using my forearm and elbow just to give a little bit of pressure outward and lengthening the hip of the bottom leg back. So I'm just trying to create space. Breathe. Now, if you're like me and you're a recovering perfectionist, usually there's a tendency in yoga to be like, oh, this is good, so more is better. It's not always the case. Take it from somebody who has injured themselves and suffered the consequences of going too far in yoga, that it does catch up to you. Now inhale, come up. Let the legs slide all the way over, nice and tall, nice and tall. Arms open up to T, palms face up. Now you're gonna have to lean back just a little bit, but hug your legs, hug the outer ankles together, and now pick up your legs without rounding your back. So I'm kind of on that shelf between the sit bones and tailbone. So squeeze the legs, bring the arms all the way up. Now, ooh, I can feel my core. Let's go and breathe. Try not to shrink. Now, uncross in the air, drop the feet, drop the arms, roll the shoulders. Opposite side. It's kind of a fun little cow, floating cow, flying cow. I don't know what we want to call that, floating cow face. Nice and tall again. This hip's a little tighter for me. Roll out the leg, especially if there's pinching for you. Nice and tall. We're hinging from the hip. We're trying to bring length to the spine. This is not about getting your nose to your shin. I have no doubt that the majority of you can do that. I want you to feel sensation. And once that sensation comes to your body, don't judge where it is, then you're going to stop and breathe. There is a part of yoga that teaches us patience. Take the tongue off the roof of the mouth and stay with the sensation that you're having. Just soften. And then out slow. Slide the leg over. We're going to squeeze and compress, kind of restrict blood flow to the lower body temporarily, which is an okay thing. Arms open up to T, palms up. Engage the belly, hug the thighs, lean back a little bit, try not to round, and lift the legs. Squeeze the outer shins together. Woo, this side's a little harder for me. And breathe. This is a lot of lower belly work and some inner thigh work. Find a focal point and just focus on your breathing. I can do hard things. Smile. Think about your lower belly smiling. And exhale, arms down, legs down. Roll the shoulders, move the legs, scooch to the edge of your chair, toes turn out, you're nice and tall. Press your left thigh out and dive your left shoulder in, look over your right shoulder and breathe. Back up and opposite side. It's called the catcher stretch. Dive the right shoulder in, rotate. Up, walk the feet in, roll the shoulders. Now sit towards the edge of the chair, palms turn up, shoulders come up to the ears, down and back, eyes closed, jaw softens, tongue off the roof of the mouth, and just take a moment here. Feel your breathing, scan your body, and just notice any thoughts, any feelings, any sensations. Any tensions, tightness, anxiety. And for some of you, you may notice that tiny urgency to like, gotta go get something done now. I gotta move. I have to be busy now. For others, there might be a sense of softness, stillness. And for some, it's kind of a wavering indifference. Just take inventory of how you feel. Instead of searching Namaste.